Hello there everyone. Welcome to Cyber Bytes channel. Today we will be having hands-on demonstration on basic hardening of Apache web server in this episode on how to on Cyber Bytes. The Apache web server is one of the most commonly deployed web servers out there on the internet, and this makes it for a very probable candidate for direct attacks on the web servers if it has not been properly secured or hardened. So in this episode, I will be discussing the most bare basic steps that you can take to secure and harden your Apache web server against attacks, most common attacks I can say. So please note that the configurations set here are of the most basic level, and depending on the setup of and the application features that you are implementing for the application that is hosted on the Apache web server, more deeper configuration checks will be required for ensuring proper security of the Apache web server and the application as a whole. Before proceeding further, I would request you, if you like my work in this video or any of the videos of the channel that have been useful to you in your daily security activity, then kindly do like, share and subscribe this channel and the videos, so this will help others in the community to up their security and encourage me to put more of quality security videos for everyone. So let us now first begin with the Apache web server hardening and optimizing for security at a very basic level. So for the sake of demonstration, I have set up the Apache web server version 2.4.41 on the Ubuntu 20.04 server. So most of the commands that we will be showing here and the configurations that would be set will be identical for other builds also. Let us first have a look at the Apache's installation directory, which is located in so this is the directory, and here basically we can see various folders here. So apache2.conf is the configuration file that is basically, we will be looking into that also. So one or two couple of things that I would like to point here, that there are some conf enabled and conf available. So these are about the configurations that are enabled and currently which are deployed, that are there in the directory. So next is the mods available and mods enabled. Now these two are the most important directories basically. So mods available means the modules that are available for this installation of Apache server. So let us have a look at the mods. So the modules. So these are the modules that are available. So some of the modules can be enabled, some of the modules could be disabled. So depending on our requirement, we can enable or disable them. So the main crux of this video here will be working on the settings of modules. So if you disable a module, so basically if it is of no use to you or no use to your application or your server at all, so you are disabling that module. So by disabling a module, you are actually cutting down one attack surface. So this is how actually you need to trim down your server installation and harden it properly. Say the most you can say logical step in doing and accomplishing to secure a web server. So this is basically about the available modules that are there in the Apache service. Next, basically we will see the mods enabled. These are the modules that are actually enabled currently on the running server. So this server will be having a conf file and the load file. So load file will be having the parameters and you can say the directives that are put into place when the service is loaded, and the configuration file will be having the specific details and directives that need to be worked on. So yes, that also you can say the most introductory part, that about you can say modules that I can talk to. So let us now begin with disabling the web DAV module. So by default, Apache 2 web server does not have this module loaded out of the box, but still it is advisable to check and disable if this web DAV module is enabled or not. So for security reasons, this is actually necessary that this step should be done from your end. So I quote from the official Apache 2 documentation stating that this module provides class 1 and class 2 web DAV, that is web based distributed authoring and versioning functionality for Apache. This extension to the HTTP protocol allows creating, moving, copying and deleting resources and collections on a remote web server. So basically whenever there is a feature functionality that is required for your application that needs file management from using the web-based HTTP or HTTPS protocol, If it is required, then it is okay, but if it is not at all required in your application in any sense, so it is highly recommended to disable this module. So by disabling this module, we are actually, you can say, reducing the attack surface. So yes, so for that, basically for demonstration purposes, I have actually deliberately enabled the DAV module to show you that if DAV module is enabled, or how to check for the enabled DAV module. So we will do this, run this commands with elevated privileges. So yes, there is a DAV module that has been shared, that is actually active. So basically we can disable this DAV module and restart our Apache instance. So we can do is sudo. All right, so we will entirely disable this module, and we will now restart our Apache 2 server. So basically we have disabled this module. Now let us move ahead. Now let us move to disable directory listing. Now directory listing by itself is one of the most common information disclosure flaws, and it must be taken into account that directory listing should never be kept active on production sites. The corresponding risk analysis for the same should be done by the developer or the administrator. So if your website is basically, you can say, on production server, so on production, and the directory listing is enabled, so that is not good. That's not a good practice actually. But yes, if it is under testing development internally, then it is okay. So while there are options available to configure directory listing from the Apache's configuration file to enable disable directory listing, there are options available. However, it is highly recommended to totally disable the module that is responsible for directory listing altogether. So even if by mistake any developer or administrator even enables the directory listing from their end, it will not work then. So for demo purpose, I have kept a sample project directory in the Apache root folder and show you how directory listing is enabled from configuration file and active module that is handling this. So I will show you one by one. So first I will show you the directory listing, how actually it can be enabled from the Apache configuration file, how it looks, and how actually it looks when we are disabling the module altogether, and even if the settings are there in the Apache file, that action will not work. Okay, so now let us see if we can, how actually we can check the module that is responsible for directory listing, that is the auto index module, is enabled in Apache installation or not. By default, it is yes, it is enabled. So we need to first ensure that it is enabled or not, and then we will be seeing how actually we can configure via this Apache configuration file and see the differences. So we'll be using this command. So this is the module that is responsible for directory listing in Apache. So to make it more secure, we can actually directly disable this module. But before disabling this module, let us see how actually the directory listing in a typical use case looks like. So there is a sample site that I have actually set up for the sake of demonstration here. So it is located at 192.168.1.6 with the folder name GP. So this is the website. Now if I put, say for example, there is a folder called assets. So this is how actually I can see, view the directory listing here. And also we can see here the server token that is visible, that is the banner. So we will be soon seeing how actually we can go about disabling that also. So yes, so this is actually the you can say information disclosure, or you can say misconfiguration that we might say. So what actually we can do here is we can actually first go into the Apache configuration file and view the insecure configuration that has been deliberately set up. So let us have a look. So this is the configuration file here, and we will be drilling down directly to the directories. This file. So there are some, we can say, deliberate options that have been set up. So this is for demonstration purposes. So whenever directory listing has to be enabled, so say for example any developer has put this option, that options, indexes, follow symlinks, multi-views, these all options have been put up, and also put allow override to all. So this is the thing how they have actually set up. Now this is actually very insecure configuration. So you can either disable it to the standard configuration, that is allow override set to none. Let us see how actually it works, and then we will be looking at the difference here, and basically we will be just commenting this out and putting this only, and we will be writing the configuration, and we will be restarting. Okay, so our instance has restarted. So let us see in our browser that if this thing is okay. So I am getting forbidden. So fine. So if I am viewing a case where actually there are multiple virtual hosts on my system, and some developers have done this thing that they have, some of them have enabled, some of them have disabled. So altogether, if I want to get rid of this thing in production environment and make this server much more secure than before, so I will just simply disable this module that is responsible for my directory listing. So what I will do, I will just go to this file and enable this insecure configuration just for demonstration purposes. Now, no, I will do one thing. I will first disable this whole module altogether. So sudo, and I am restarting my Apache instance. So I have disabled this module altogether, and if I try that again, certainly I won't be able to get that. Obviously, it is now telling not found. Actually, it was earlier, if you can recall, it was forbidden. Now it is telling me it not found. So yes, by disabling this module, we can actually make these changes. Now also, let us do one thing. Even if I put it into more insecure, just enable those insecure configurations and see if they have actually worked or not. So I have enabled this insecure configurations, and let us see if it is taking effect or not. So I will go again. Not found. Again the same thing. So I have disabled the module altogether. So even if the developer tries to make changes in the configuration file of Apache, this will not work. So that is basically a much more better approach you can take to secure your Apache installation. So now moving ahead, we will be disabling the override directory for OS root directory. So this basically, we are actually familiar with the usage of .htaccess file. So where we put most of our configuration like authentication, documentation, document handling rules, access controls, etc. So whenever we put a customized .htaccess file and the server finds it during its execution, then it will work as per the directions given in the htaccess file. Now just imagine a situation from a security perspective, that when your application has been compromised at certain point, and an attacker is successful in inserting their custom .htaccess file, then your site will be pretty much obeying to that directions that attackers has put to the htaccess file. This basically will include redirection or doing certain various other nasty stuff. So to disable this completely, we must first set a directive to Apache server to none. Then our web server will simply ignore any custom supplied htaccess file altogether. So we are actually putting this mechanism and telling the server that you will not accept any customized htaccess file for you. So in this configuration file, we will be seeing this, just double checking it, that we have directive called allow override is set to none or not. So this one. So the allow override should be set to none here. Say for example, here in directory, allow override is none here. Next also in this user share directory, that is set to none. And here in our web root here, basically we are also putting allow override to none here. So this should be made, you can say, as a standard here. So let us fall back to our secure configuration. So allow override is set to none here. Also, in case if your server has this file that is, you can say, having a directive called allow override list, it should not be present also. So most probably this will be the pretty standard format or standard configuration available. So make sure that the directive allow override is set to none in all cases. So this basically will ensure that no other htaccess file apart from the one that has been there in this web server will be worked. So that was about this thing. So this should be checked and double checked. Now moving to another security check that we should be ensuring that it should be enabled, or you can say it should be there at place. So how actually we can enhance the security of our Apache web server by disabling the HTTP trace method. So the HTTP trace method by nature was intended to be for diagnostic purposes only. So if in case this method is enabled for production systems, then it can be maliciously used by attackers. So for the purpose of, say for example, disclosing sensitive information of web applications internal security headers along with the reverse proxy details if it is behind a reverse proxy. So however, basically by default, thankfully the good thing is that the trace method is disabled, but it must be double checked if the application is getting deployed in production environment. So before you are pushing your application to production environment, and you must be checking this setting also, that this it is disabled. So let us see how we can check that. So let us write this down and move ahead. All right, so we basically need to navigate to directory that is the conf enabled. So this is the directory where actually we'll be seeing, and here actually if you see there is a file called security.conf, and we will be opening that. All right, so here basically all this security details are there. So what we will do is we'll just here. So here the tracing is here the setting is telling that allow trace method, and basically it is set to either on, off or extended. So by default basically trace is in off only, but still you can double check that also. Now if you want to, if it is actually enabled, then you should disable it. So this is the check that you should follow, and so basically it is telling me that method is not allowed. So fine, so we have actually implemented that trace is basically not working actually. So that is basically a good sign. So now let us move with the another setting that we should ensure to make our Apache installation more secure. Then let us have how actually we can check to restrict unauthorized access to the HT files that are basically the HT access, HT passwords, or the files like that, which are actually very crucial for running the server and basically managing the site. So here we are actually adding this step to just to make sure that another layer of, you can say, redundancy to restrict any access to files that start with the .ht extension. So it can be the HT access, as I told earlier, HT password or HT group file, and we do not want in any case to actually anyone to touch this file or make changes to this file in an unauthorized manner. So basically if you alter these files, this can actually pose a great threat to normal sites functioning, and we must better check this thing in the Apache configuration file. And by default also, thankfully, this is already been restricted via the files match directive. So let me show you how. Files match directive, this one, that is basically telling to restrict any file that is starting with a .ht, and it is setting the directive to be denied. So this is how actually you can double check if someone before you might have actually made some changes. So this is a nice chance to actually check that again before you are deploying it into a live environment. So this was about that. Let me just exit from this. Yeah.